We are going to get started on the Public Health and Education Committee meeting. So it is 7:09. We are starting. Yeah, we are using our new title. Okay, so Dr. Sherry's not here, so we're gonna. Good news isn't here either, so I'm gonna hop over to the next part. Yeah, but these two people aren't here. No.
Thank you.
Is there anybody here from the local officials? That's Darryl.
Oh, guys.
He sent an email, it would be good.
Okay.
Yeah. I told you.
Okay.
And Troy just had a family emergency, right?
Oh,
Just
no. I hope Troy's okay. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do.
All right. Have a great meeting.
Thanks, you too. Guy, do you have anything you want to say today? Oh, I did.
Okay.
I did.
I'm here. Hold on. I'm here.
I promise you. Yeah. Guys,
I thought I
didn't hear you.
was under the impression I was coming on just to tell you about some of the upcoming things that are happening here.
Sure, you have the floor.
Oh. Hold on. I'm going to fix it so you can see me.
No problem.
All right. As you see behind me, it says super parent. Can you see it?
Yeah.
We're not.
Well, not anymore, but I saw it before.
Okay.
You good now?
All right. Well, this is an upcoming workshop that's going to take place at the end of the month. I'm not ready because I didn't think you were going to call me so quick. Hold
Sorry.
on. All right. Just a minute.
No, that's okay.
I wanted to
Guy,
okay, the upcoming, okay, here we are. Celebrating the Super Parent Workshop is a community-informed collaborative experience intentionally designed to, alongside with some parents, local partners to reflect the real needs, voices, and lived realities of parents, building on each attendee's parenting skills. So what we have here is a co-design. This was at PS21, I sat down and spoke with the PTA president and the school social worker, Ms. Roth. And they were saying that and this was in September, they were saying the parents were, in fact, it was no, it wasn't September. Actually, it was in May of last year. And we sat down and we spoke. They said the parents were stressed. So we decided that we didn't want to make it, we wanted to make it attractive to parents and not focus on the negative. So we decided to celebrate them as super parents. Celebrating the super parent is really a wellness-based, self-care-based parenting class. And it feeds into the needs of parents to relieve themselves from stress situations by applying self-care. A lot of the times parents are pulled in every direction and it gets to be overwhelming. So we aim them towards self-care and they each share within the workshop the tools that they use to guide them in parenting without anger, without doing discipline, well, without doing a negative disciplines, without applying negative disciplines. And that's what that's about. Um, that will be coming up on the last Thursday morning of this month, which is the 30th. And it's gonna be from 12 noon to 3, and we serve lunch. And we
That's
give
it?
away prizes.
Okay. Go ahead, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay.
Can you
I'm
put
gonna
all,
move my,
can
I'm
you put,
moving my head up way so you can see the poster in back of me.
awesome. Can you put that info in the chat for me too?
Oh, definitely.
Can you put the whole, can you just drop the photo of the calendar in the link in the chat for me?
Yes, I will.
Thank you so much.
And the other initiative that we have going is our youth explosion, which will take place on the 30th, which is the last Friday of next month. And that is going to be geared toward youth between the ages of 12 and 15. And we're bringing out the basketball arcade. Dominic, you've seen it. So we're going to have like a mini carnival setting. We're going to have the photo booth and all the photo ops with the balloon arches and the frames and silly hats and things to take pictures. We'll have we have the giant size with Jenga and some card games and some trivia, a trivia contest, and we'll be giving away a lot of toys and gifts doing that as well. That flyer is not ready yet, but I will definitely give you the super parent flyer. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. So, hi Taylor.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Would you like to speak?
I can speak, but I'm really just here, and I apologize for being camera off. I'm commuting home. I was here to support Ariza, but I don't see her. So I'm not sure if there was a some troubles going on. I know she was presenting on behalf of social work. But good afternoon, everyone, or good evening. My name is Taylor John. I am the Assistant Director of Health Initiatives and Community Affairs at Jacoby North Central Bronx Hospital. I am also responsible for our community advisory boards as well as all of the health initiatives for our hospital. Really great to be here. Again, I apologize that Ariza is not here. She did have a presentation for you all, but hopefully we can have her come in at the next meeting. But just again, here to offer support, if we can collaborate, if there's anything that we can do. I see Miss Grierson in the audience. She's one of our CAB members at Jacoby, and a huge advocate within our hospital and our spaces. So happy to collaborate on any initiatives. We do have lots of hospital related topics going on. Next week is Denim Day, so we have something hosted at our hospitals between Jacoby and North Central Bronx. We are also planning to host a workshop around sexual violence and relationship harm. Today we hosted American Sign Language education for our patients in our community at North Central Bronx Hospital. And we have a plethora of events going on over the next couple of weeks, as well as for Mental Health Awareness Month in May. So what I can do is I have George's email. So George, I can send you the calendar, and if you could share it with the group, and that way you all can attend and if you'd like. And that's all. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.
Okay. Brittany, do you want to go next? Okay, let me just pull up your presentation real quick. I was trying to send it to myself, but my email is being my email. There we go. Let me just download real quick. Yeah, because you're gonna have to speak, yeah. And they're gonna like, okay. So it won't even let me delete PowerPoint because it doesn't have a product key.
Okay. I can,
I can rock out from right here.
yeah, you can just scroll up and down.
That's no problem. Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna share the screen because I haven't done this today. Share entire screen. Go ahead, good news.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hi, my name is Good News and Karma. I am the founder and executive director of Good News to Scholars. It is a youth-based program that is focused on early career exposure and career readiness and college readiness for our young ones. We started in 2022 and we serve New York City students. Right now, we have presence in the Bronx, which is our primary area of focus. We have some presence in Brooklyn through some partnerships that we've done some work with. And then we have done some work through some partnership in Queens as well. Our target age is 10 to 19. We're really focusing on the middle school students and high school students, making sure that they're ready and they're prepared and they transition well, because we know that college is a very different experience and sometimes the young ones are not prepared for that. So we just want to make sure that that transition is very smooth for them and that they're not captured unawares, because those are some of the things that drive up dropping out of college after the first year. Just that not being prepared makes everything so hard and overwhelming for them. So we start early from middle school so that high school is not, everything is not jam packed, and then it becomes overwhelming in high school. Some of our Okay. So our mission really is to make sure that our Black and Brown students are provided with opportunities, mentorship, scholarship, and career-ready skills so that they can succeed in the workplace. Some of the things that we've also noticed is that a lot of people graduate college, but they don't use the college degree that they have because they don't have the experience to go into the workforce as soon as they graduate. So which is why starting so young is important, because we want to make sure that they are aligned on the path that they want to go, and that the majors and the careers that they choose in college are things that they actually will build a career off of, and not just having a college degree just to have a college degree. So making sure that all of this work is started early is very important, because their counterparts are starting early. So we want to make sure that they're getting the same opportunity and the playing field is fair for them as well. Our focus area is really career readiness, which is something that we started last year. We actually conducted that in this building, in this space right here. And 90% of the students that showed up were middle school students, even though when we created the program, it was more tailored to our high school students. But we found that there was a gap for middle school students. They didn't want to do summer camp because some of them felt they were a little older. They've outgrown that and they don't want to be with the elementary school students. But then they also couldn't work because they were super young. So now they were left with just sitting home. And so the program really came in handy that they were the majority of the people that we served. So this year we are designing our curriculum with that in mind, being that a lot of them are going to be middle school students, because the high school students, especially in the 11 and 12th grade, they're doing the summer youth program, so they're all out working. So designing that program to target that audience is really our goal for the 2026 summer series. And then we also want to focus on leadership. We want to make sure that we're building youth that advocate for themselves. A lot of the way that the world works now is that you have to speak for yourself. You have to advocate for yourself. So making sure that we're giving them those tools now so that they can start to advocate for themselves. And it's something that they're familiar with by the time they go into the workplace, and it's not foreign to them when they get in there. We do some extracurricular activities. We have a big piece in scholarship. That is how our organization started. It started off just making sure that people that wanted to go to college from low-income families and immigrant families had that money to go to college, because a lot of them took a gap year to work to save up money. And the problem with taking a gap year is you make a little bit of money and you become enticed and you don't want to go back to college. So which ends up 4 or 5 years later, now they didn't go to college. So in order to avoid that, we want to make sure that they have the money. So internally, we have our own scholarship fund, but we also have a database of scholarships that we help them with. I went to college on scholarships. Thankfully, God willing, I didn't take out loans. So I am proof that you can go to school on scholarship. There's so much money out there. It's just about finding them and applying for them. So we, being that we have that experience, we try to teach the young ones, because a lot of them, if you ask them how they're going to pay for college, the first thing that pops into their mind is loans. And we know that those loans are a lot. So that's not the first thought process that we want them to think about. And then we have the college readiness support. Most schools have it, but depending on the student body to counselor ratio, they're not getting enough support that they need. So we're providing that support as supplemental for those that need it. A lot of things goes into going to college, picking the right school, picking the right major. Those are things that people don't think about when they pick school. So we want to make sure that we're providing them with that knowledge and resources. And then the last piece we do is mentorship. Every player, a sports athlete has a coach. And that's the same thing that goes with success. Every successful person that I've met as a coach and a mentor. So we want to start to teach the young people that someone that has walked the path is more equipped to teach you what you're going to encounter, some of the things to avoid, some of the paths to follow. So making sure that that mentorship is available for the students is another big piece that we focus in. And then our programs are broken down into different cohorts. Some of them can be done in one session. Some of them have to be spread out in order to get the most out of it. The career exposure is typically 4 to 6 weeks. The leadership piece we can do in one session depending on the topic that we are handling. And then the extracurricular can also be done in one session depending on what extracurricular activities we're focusing on. And then this fall, we would love to launch an entrepreneurship incubator. We have, if we look at the way that the job market is going, a lot of money is being made in entrepreneurship. So we want to make sure that our young people are positioned to do that. Some of them want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't understand what it takes. I met a young student that wants to have 5 businesses at the same time. And it sounds great in theory, but entrepreneurship is a lot of work, especially in the beginning. So that just goes to show me that he doesn't know what it takes yet. So in that program, we want to cover from concept development of the idea that they have all the way to product development. So that is a program that we hope to launch in the fall. And then our summer series is really our what we are planning towards. This is really the meat of our program right now. That career exposure gap exists for our Black and Brown students, especially the young ones that we have right now. A lot of them are not familiar with the types of jobs that are out there. A lot of the things a lot of the titles and roles that they want is outdated. So we want to make sure that they're familiar with all the jobs that are opening in the marketplace, but also we want them to think of careers and not jobs, because those are how we can build success on a long-term basis. So the program runs in the summer. It focuses on 5th to 11th graders, and we explore a range of career from healthcare to IT to entrepreneurship, engineering, all of that. And these sessions are being led by professionals in those fields. So it's not like someone that hasn't done it is teaching it. So it's really something that is enriching for them, because they get to ask questions, especially for students that are interested in that field. Our focus is really District 11 and 12, just based on our space, the capacity that we can handle right now. And hopefully in the future, we can open that up to other districts. The program is free to the students, but as we know, it costs money to run it regardless. It ranges about $8,000 to $25,000. When we ran it last year, it cost us about $12,000. So this year we want to raise as much money as possible to be able to fund it and then establish partnerships. the more partnerships we have, the less money we spend. For example, because we were able to use this space last year, we didn't have to rent a space to do it. So things like that, professionals coming out on a volunteer base, as opposed to us having to pay people to come out and do it. So these are some of the things that reduce the cost for us. So we're open to those partnerships to see how we can provide this program to our students in a very cost-effective manner. And when it comes to raising money, that brings us into our fundraising gala. So every year we host a gala in April to help us raise money, not just for the scholarship, but for the programs that we run, so that we can continue to provide it free of charge for the students. So the gala is next week, Saturday, April 25th. It's going to be at the Andrew Friedman Home, 1125 Grand Concourse. We invite everyone. The more support we get, the more money that we can raise. The tickets and donations goes towards the scholarship fund and the programs that we run. Our goal is to raise $20,000 for the scholarship. We have 7 students right now that have been selected for the scholarships, and also to raise $25,000 for the summer program. So we plead that you help us spread the word. Every donation helps. Every ticket that is bought, every attendance, all helps towards achieving this goal of helping our young ones. And we cannot do any of this work without our partners. We have Grace to Prosper that we partner with, that is based in Brooklyn. We have Aim High Institute that is right here in the Bronx with us. We have MCORE that is in Queens. And then we have Morris and New Confidant, which are our schools that we work with there. And we want to keep expanding these partnerships, because the partnership helps us make our program run effectively and helps everything to be cost effective. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
That was beautiful. I love what you're doing for the community. It's really good. So make sure y'all buy tickets to Good News. Yes. Any questions, anybody?
Where do you locate?
The programs. So during the school year, we are focused on going into schools to host the program. My goal is to make everything seamless. Since the students are already in the school, it just makes sense to take the program to them. And then in the summer, that's the space that we're looking for. This last summer, we did the program here. Hopefully we can do it here again, or somewhere between 11 and 12.
Awesome. Any other questions?
Online as well.
Any other questions?
Virtual, somebody has what is, who's that? Oh, that's
Oh,
Taylor.
no, that's Taylor. That's Taylor.
Oh, Latanya's there.
Yeah. Any questions? Oh, let me check the chat. No, that was just.
That's it, just,
Yeah, that's it for now.
well, you might want to ask the guy from BJC, I think,
Yeah, there we go.
Taylor was
See,
waiting.
yes. Okay. Good news. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Stop. Okay, I want to sign out before I forget. Sabrina, you want to go next? Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Alpha. Sorry, Alpha. I didn't know. Sorry. Sorry, you know I don't do you like that.
All right. Good evening, Community Board 12.
Good evening.
I am home. I grew up in this neighborhood. I started my career in government in this neighborhood, so it feels good to be home amongst family. For those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Sabrina Campbell. I am the founder of Becoming the CEO Network, which is an organization birthed and based here in the Northeast Bronx. Our mission is to educate, empower, and energize everyone the organization and myself come to contact with. We empower youth and adults with practical skills, entrepreneurial education, and confidence building opportunities that prepare for economic independence and leadership. Something that we also do right here in Community Board 12, right? Why our work matters. We all are very much aware of Gen Z and the fact that traditional structures are not their thing. But we also know that we can't do away with the old guard just yet. We still have to honor some traditions and introduce Gen Z to some traditions. So we know that traditional education often teaches theory, but not enough real world income generating skills. Many young people need exposure to entrepreneurship, as Good News in her organization is so great doing. They also need professional development. They need creative and career pathways. Our programs bridge the gap between education, workforce readiness, and entrepreneurship. Some of our signature events are one that we just successfully completed on Saturday, which is our Back to Basics Braiding Camp. So we partnered with our local elected officials, some nonprofits, myself, and we decided to teach successfully on Saturday beginners and intermediates, over 62 young people as young as 7 years old. Our oldest in the class was 37 years old. So it's intergenerational, it's immersive, it's interactive, and we taught the skill, the art, history, and the business of braiding. So we taught them basic things on mannequin heads that we provided. Everything was provided. It was free of charge. So of course, that's exciting. It was spring break week, so it was a good close out to their spring break. But we introduced them to, like I said, the skill of braiding. So we took our time. We talked about part, cornrow, 3-strand braid, and we're talking about children who never had that experience before, leaving having that experience. We had entrepreneurs who volunteered their time and also their gifts and skills to donate oil. So we taught scalp care. We taught them how to part, section their hair, and just oil that scalp, get it nice and moisturized. We talked about cleaning your materials. They left with a full kit ready to go on and braid, but also start their business. So I wrote a guidebook that gives them a refresher of how to braid, but also I help them in the guide talk about time management. You're a business owner, you have to be able to manage your time, manage your schedule, respect your time, but also respect your client's time. And the guidebook, it teaches them etiquette. We talked about that at the workshop. What conversations do you have with your clients? What music do you play? Do you not play music? Do you ask them during the scheduling process what kind of meetings they want? So we got their brains going in terms of customer service, time management, scheduling, and then also how to keep track of your inventory. If you're going to be a business owner, you have to know the materials you need per hairstyle, per person, for the month, for the week. So we taught them all those soft skills. We taught them the practical skills of braiding. We are gearing up to, in June, hopefully we get to host here in CB12, but we are gearing up to now teach the skill, okay? We are now gearing up to teach the skill of makeup. This is also a very lucrative business for our young people to get into. And we're just also trying to get them into the mindset of course, traditional school is great, but what can you do to couple with the traditional education? If they stay home, what can they do to, when they're going to Lehman or going to Bronx Community College, do to generate some income to sustain themselves and build their independence? So we're gearing up to teach makeup. The third back to basic skill camp will be barbering. So we want to bring barbering both to our young men and our young women because there is an interest from our young women to learn master barbering. So we want to partner with some master barbers in the district. And my vision for the barbering camp too is that the young ladies will get braiding and makeup, but to foster a cuts and combos style environment for our young men to come and, you know, remove the mask and have that honest conversation, but also couple it with learning the skill and then also seeing other men that look like them being in a position that they desire to be in. The professional development ecosystem is broken down again into 3 parts: networking events that we host quarterly. I brought some flyers to speak with you all today. I'd love to see you guys in the room. We're hosting next week at Neffer Book Cafe on 241st. So we're partnering with the owner Pumpkin to host that event, and the networking events are an opportunity to teach the skill of networking. So of course, I'm inviting you all into the space, but we're doing some networking. We're talking about etiquette while you network, and that follow-up post meeting someone new, texting them to say, hey, it was good to meet you, or sending that follow-up email. So we are teaching the skill, we're educating, we're empowering, and we are also energizing. So everything we do has that approach. We're building social capital and professional confidence. events, sometimes it's really hard for people to talk about themselves. It's really hard for people to engage in conversation. One of the things that a tip that I always give people when it comes to networking is I tend to try to wear something really interesting that someone would give me a compliment on, and then I'd be like, oh, I got it from Amazon. And they're like, really? And I'm like, I start to send them the Amazon link, and then that sparks a conversation. Oh, I was looking at this, or you smell so good. You use the practical, everyday things that you're wearing and that you possess to start that conversation, and that breaks the ice. And then you can talk about the business stuff, because networking does have a transactional element to it. But we want to be human and want to meet people where they are. And then it teaches participants how to be present, how to present themselves in professional spaces. We are also hosting masterclasses in May 9th, virtually and in person. I am hosting the first masterclass that we're calling from the Mom to Mobile Masterclass, where we're going to teach in celebration of this day, moms side hustles that don't cost a lot of money that they can start. So I'm a licensed notary, so I'll be facilitating a conversation around the cost for becoming a public and how much there is a demand for it, especially in the real estate industry. So we'll also have a facilitator who is a franchise daycare owner right here in the Bronx to teach how to start a daycare business from scratch to completion. And we also have a third facilitator who is an independent cleaning company who's been in business for around 15 years, Black female led. So she will also be coming in and facilitating that conversation. And everything that we do in terms of the conversations, we have master classes and networking events, and our braiding camps always have a financial literacy piece to it. So we'll also have a financial advisor to help us as we figure out what our starting costs will be, what the scaling costs and the sustaining costs would be for these side hustles. I will also be introducing to our audience the effectiveness of selling on Amazon. A lot of the things we order on Amazon are everyday people like you and I. Some of them self-fulfill the orders, or Amazon fulfills the orders. But it's something that does not cost you a lot of money. You really only need a Costco membership or BJ's membership to start selling on Amazon, because you have to have a bulk quantity. And then last but not least, we host a virtual book club that we will be relaunching in September. And the book club is to encourage critical thinking and leadership development, all of the things you do as an entrepreneur. It's not just about making the money, but again, it goes back to how you present yourself and what you know. It creates a space for reflection and discussion and intellectual growth. It reinforces mindset and discipline needed for success. But again, everything we do is community-based. So the book club also fosters community and encompasses that education, empowerment, and energizing piece that we are so passionate about. Community impact. It is becoming a CEO's mission is to build an ecosystem where people do not feel isolated. Community is the driving force behind everything that we do, and oftentimes people think that they have to work in silos, and they have to do things on their own. When everybody knows their role in community, everyone can play their part. So if I'm doing camp, but you know how to sew, I don't need to sew because you know how to sew and you're a part of the community. I'm the braiding camp, you're the sewing, someone's a public speaker, someone's an entrepreneur, everyone has their role. So within becoming the CEO, the impact is to help people identify what their role is in the community, live in that role, and execute in that role. And then they themselves educate, empower, energize. And then the cycle of life just continues to go. Why this matters in Bronx. I'm not sure if you all have identified, but there's an energy in our borough right now where we are rewriting the narrative. Each and every one of us in our individual lives are collectively rewriting the narrative of our borough and the things that we're doing. So the work of becoming a CEO matters because we're creating accessible pathways to entrepreneurs and workforce development right here in our community. We are helping youth and adults monetize skills, build confidence, and envision broader futures. And thirdly, we are investing in prevention by giving people purpose, tools, and opportunities. And a call to action that I simply have for all of us in the room today and anyone hearing my voice is partner with becoming the CEO. What does partnership look like? Volunteer at a braiding camp. you know how to braid, volunteer at the makeup camp, come to the networking events, educate and empower your neighbor on what we are doing, and what we have going on. Come to book club, come to the Mom to Mobiles masterclass. And in closing, at Becoming the CEO Network, we are not just hosting programs, we are doing for CEOs, entrepreneurs, leaders, and change makers. We believe that economic empowerment starts with skill development, exposure, and community investment. That is it on my part.
Thank you. Any questions, Guy?
Yeah, here I am. Yeah. I just wanted to add, and I forgot what I was speaking to, say that everything at the Uptown Family Enrichment Center, all programming is free. And it is not just for the members of our area. We're citywide. Everyone that walks through the door is able to participate in all of our programming. Thank you.
No problem, Guy, anytime. Any questions for becoming her? Is this becoming the CEO? Sorry, becoming the CEO. This is a great program. I definitely hope that we will utilize this. I know. I wish I went to the radio.
It was, well, we're gearing up. I did not say this, but in September, we will be doing another braiding camp at the Northeast Bronx YMCA. You all are free to come to as much as space can accommodate the makeup camp.
Yeah.
And just join us as we learn these skills and learn how to scale these businesses. So you all are invited.
And the book club is a good idea. I love a good book club because I feel like book clubs really create community that
Yes.
we don't realize that it does. I'm an avid reader, so I read like all the time. I read like 4 books a month.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
I'm
know.
open to suggestions. This is a growing organization, so I'm open to anything that you feel like we should be doing for the young people. We also have hosted wellness walks in partnership with Freckles Juice on Dyer Avenue. So we're trying a holistic approach to empowering and educating and energizing people, and then getting them in position to just make extra dollars on multiple streams of income.
That's what I tell my students all the time. To make money, you could be a social worker and make money on the side.
Because I have a 9 to 5 and I do this. So.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So Thursday, April 23rd at 5:30 at Neppers, Becoming the CEO Networking Mixer. I will give this to Ursula so that she can send this around. Sounds good? All right. Alpha, can you please come back and help?
Sure.
Both of you should be networking together. Because your programs are quite,
Yeah,
you know,
they're quite similar.
it's similar but different. Yeah.
All right. You know, my sidekick. Why are you trying to bend it? That's what happened to you. All right. We're back. We're back. All right. So, Dr. Sherry, are you next?
I think you are.
Yes, I am.
Are both of you gonna talk?
She's gonna talk. I just need.
Okay. So this is what we gonna do. There. We're gonna do that. Is this about Black maternal mental health?
No,
Oh, Black maternal.
this is autism.
Oh, okay. Same one.
You're the same thing? Oh, very, well, that's very good. I'm always going to speak about autism because my youngest daughter is on the autism spectrum. And when she was young, she was just as I'm going to tell you soon. You know, women are usually, young girls are usually diagnosed later.
Yeah.
You know, so she was late in being diagnosed, you know, but she had some other issues. So we were concentrating on those issues, not realizing that she was autistic, you know, that they actually gave her that diagnosis and gave her Asperger's. So, and, you know, and of course I went to the Kennedy Center and I cried outside for about an hour, you know, having 13 diagnoses that was going on. So I would always talk about autism
First of all, let's talk about what autism is and what it's not. So basically, autism is a neurodevelopment condition that affects how a person perceives the world. They may have some mental disorders, they may have some other social characteristics, but it's not a disease. It's not like diabetes, it's not like hypertension, but this is a lifelong condition that socially these children and adults, because they do grow into adults out here, that have to deal with this for the rest of their lives. You cannot, some kids you can look at and say, oh, they must be on the spectrum, and look at them, but a lot of times you have a lot of autistic individuals, I'm not going to just say children, individuals that look just like you and I.
Yeah.
That work in the workplace, that, you know, if they're fortunate, if they have certain skills, these braiding camps and all of these things are great ideas for some children that are on, or adults that are on the spectrum that need other outlets that may not be college material, or they just need other resources, you know, in order to have careers just like normal other adults. So basically, autism is not a disease. It's a spectrum disorder in which no autistic two people are alike. According to the CDC, autism prevalence has risen, because I remember when it was 1 in 80 something. Now it's 1 in 31 children, about 2.3%. And the increase of identification with rates of 8-year-olds at 1 in 31 and 4-year-olds at 1 in 34. Boys are definitely diagnosed higher than girls. It is said that a lot of times it's carried in the male gene, not putting any kind of, that's what the research says. It's a lifelong condition. And now what they're doing is, as where autism used to have a lot of different identifications, like I said, Asperger's or ADHD or different things, it's all part of a spectrum. And no two children are alike, but you identify now according to, almost like they used to do mental disorders, according to the services that you need. Right? So you have some children that don't need as many support systems, and then you have people that need 24-hour support systems, that they do that. The challenges a lot of times with autistic children is that they have hypersensitivity to sounds, to lights, to, that's how come a lot of times they have certain Broadway shows and movies that you have to be careful when, you know, autistic children are in the audience, because any kind of flashes or different things that happen during movies can excite them and have them going off. And smells. A lot of them, communication is an issue. You have some autistic children that are very verbal and talk a lot. And then you have the ones that are non-communicative, they don't speak, they just don't have the words or the ability to speak or to be able to express themselves. And a lot of times you'll see those children using computers and typewriters to communicate.
I see a
Like
lot
they
of
have
them
the
with
words, but they don't know how to say them, out. There's a lot of speech therapy. There's a lot of in the classroom, they'll have a lot of what do you call them? The
iPads?
no, they'll have a special ed teacher in the classroom to help a parent to assist them.
I've only seen them with iPads.
Yeah, and a lot of them have a lot of behavioral issues, only because a lot of times a lot of parents don't know themselves. Some of the teachers back in the day, I know in the 80s or 90s when my daughter was diagnosed, a lot of people said that they knew how to deal with autistic children in the school system, but they didn't know what it was. There was a lot of misconceptions, because a lot of times your child has normal behavior until the age of 18 months and 2 years old. And that's when a lot of them are beginning to speak, being able to express themselves. And when they stop doing that, it's just a coincidence that at 15 months and 18 months, they're getting their vaccines. It has been proven that that was a false report, that it is not true, that autism is caused. It's a coincidental correlation. It is not caused by kids having vaccines. I tell them a lot of times, since it is a neurodevelopment disorder, vaccines are a shock to our bodies sometimes and a shock to our brains. So you can space out your vaccines if you have a concern, you know, but Tylenol does not cause autism. That's dear Kennedy say. And vaccines do not cause autism. As a matter of fact, they do not know the cause, even to this day. They do not know the cause of autism and why some families, it could be genetic, why some families have more autism. Usually when someone has a disease or some kind of illness, it's 1 in 4. Usually you have that same DNA makeup of 1 in 4. Someone has the trait, someone has a disease. You'll still have some children, some families where they'll have 8 kids and 7 to 8 of them will be autistic to some degree. So right now, the levels of autism, they are staging them as level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 being requiring some support, initiation. A lot of times autistic individual will not give you eye contact. I'm like that sometimes. You know, won't give you eye contact. They'll speak off to the side. They don't know those idioms. They take it's raining cats and dogs, literally. You know, and you know, you just have to. It's about training. I found that with my own individual experience that a lot of autistic, with the proper early intervention, I'm a very pro component of early intervention. With appropriate early intervention, it cannot be cured, but you can decrease their symptoms, and then they can end up functioning much better in society because what is normal? They just can function better with the expectations of society. So, in doing that. And my daughter, even though she works for the public library, this is not a public library tool that they use. She developed this for the library that she works for, which is over here in our district in Katona Heights. Katona Heights Library System, and she developed an autism fun fact sheet with resources on the back. And if anybody is here in person, I have a few copies that can be given out. And that's my spiel on autism. Yes, and my daughter ended up going to college, getting a 4-year degree, and now is getting her master's online. So, you know, she had 13 different diagnoses. She was diagnosed as being autistic at 9 years old, not at 2 and 1. So I believe the prevalence of 1 in 31 is just the fact that it's being diagnosed soon.
Yeah. Okay. Karen, if I can jump in, thank you very much. I appreciate that. As a special ed licensed teacher, I appreciate that very much. The other part that I want to say is my nephew with Asperger's, who is a cross-country truck driver. See, you know, he's no joke. He's unbelievable. I think that the main thing with him is that he's not very social.
Well, that's
Not very social, but it's hard. It's very handsome. So it's kind of hard for him.
And that's just it. Who teaches us? Because I think it was a young lady that just spoke earlier about, and then you were talking about Gen Z. It's with social media. The children growing up now, the kids growing up now, how do they communicate? How do they socialize? How do you make friends? How do you learn to network? How do you say, oh, you know, I'm gonna go into this room and wear something that someone can talk about positively, you know, so that I can get to speak to you better. These are the skills that early life skills that we happen to learn, that we happen to learn in general. They have a hard time doing it, and we have to teach it to them.
It's so funny because I literally taught this lesson today in my class about autism spectrum disorders. And one of the things we were just talking about was that we want to make sure that everybody understands it's not one size fits all, and that was like kind of made clear in the class today. We were also just even talking about all of the stereotypes that people say about people with autism, how like a lot of them say they're not going to be something, and I'm like, that's so not true. I have like so many people in my family that have autism. My little cousin has it, and she's about to go to college next year. A great college on top of that. So we even have my best friend's son, who this time last year wasn't even talking, and he's 3 and already basically reading at this time. So I just say that to say there's so many negative connotations that like people say that I feel like it's just not appropriate. They always say when I learned when I was getting my master's that it's 2 things that autism has, and that's restricted repetitive behaviors and social deficits. Those are the 2 things that will let you know about autism. So that's just my tidbit. What I will also add is that some DOE teachers shouldn't be teaching kids with autism. And I'm just saying that from my perspective because I worked at a D75 school.
And I was going to say, but what I forgot to say, it's not so much about awareness as it is acceptance.
Yep, that's what I was going to say
You know,
too.
we're all going down the route of saying autism awareness,
No,
but it's also
acceptance.
about acceptance, you know, of them being in the room. And also, you know, you have certain organizations, but the ones that I find with the resources that function better are the ones that have autistic individuals on their boards, on their councils. An autistic child can tell you, or an individual can tell what their needs are better than someone else that has not experienced what they experience.
I think also because I'm working when I work with ACS and families, we send them. We send for an early intervention, but I'm noticing that there's not enough programs. So I have a kid right now who's been waiting months on Rose Kennedy. So again,
It's very
it's
difficult to get into the Kennedy Center.
It is.
Because their diagnosis is done by a multi-physician council. So it's like they go in for this, because this is what happened at the Kennedy. Their evaluation is done like 3 or 4 different doctors, different types, a sociologist, a neurologist, a medical doctor, and then they pull all of their information that they got from the child that they evaluated. It's a long evaluation, and then they come up with a diagnosis. You know, and that's how they came out, because my daughter was high on the autism spectrum, but yet she had ADHD. She had, what do you call it? That she couldn't focus. You know, ADHD. Then it was hyperactive, non-hyperactive.
Oh yeah, inattentive or
There was a
hyperactive.
whole bunch of other things on the mental, depression, anxiety. It's a whole bunch of disorders that they group together, and you get your resources according to that.
That's good.
You know, but what happened with the Board of Ed, when she first started with the Board of Ed, and we had to pull her out of the Board of Ed, is because of the fact that a lot of the teachers, they did pull out. So you're trying to teach my child, you're pulling her out of the courses that they need.
The core
Like,
sources.
you can't
Yep.
pull them out of math, you can't pull them out of social studies.
Can't pull them out of
pull them
anything.
and you can't put them in stairwell. Classes are overcrowded. You can't teach somebody something in a stairwell or in a closet.
Yeah.
You know, and then you need the sensitivity.
No, sure.
No, I agree.
To deal with these
Seen it with my
individual
own eyes.
patients.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, I'm sorry.
No,
So
go ahead,
now
Karen.
my Board of Ed is a whole pamphlet that comes when, they're in the Board of Ed system from age 5 to 21. And an RSA, which is the form of the resources and all the other speech therapists, special ed teachers and everything, a whole list that if the Board of Ed can't provide the services,
They're supposed to get it.
then they're supposed to get it from this list of RSAs.
Oh, well, because I did IEPs. Yep.
Yeah,
That was me. That's why I know.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that, Karen. That was very informational. We really appreciate it.
Any questions?
Any questions for Karen before I move on? All right, awesome. So moving on.
Online, we also have Sheba Simpson.
Ms.
Amsterdam.
Simpson, Amsterdam, do you have anything to say today?
Because this is your area of expertise.
It is, but that's not what I wanted to talk to about tonight.
Okay.
I pulled over because I'm driving home. I was going to speak about Black maternal health and its
That's
disparity. Is that okay?
yeah. Oh yeah.
That's one of my specialties too. Go ahead.
That's my specialty as well.
Good evening, everyone. I am Sheba Simpson Amsterdam. I am an educator, an author, and a keynote speaker. And I want to thank Community Board 12 for allowing me to speak tonight. And as always, my dear friend, Lady T. Dickinson, thank you again for always being of support of me. As a mother of 3, 2 of my births were through C-section. And thankfully, I made it through them. But so many of Black women do not. Black maternal health in this country is definitely in crisis, and it's not because of our biology. It is because it fell of a failed system, racial bias. I'm sorry, y'all. This is like deeply personal for me, and a failure to listen to Black women because of the lack of respect for Black women. In the United States, Black women are nearly 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes than white women. And so let us sit with that for a moment. 3 times our white counterparts. These are not just the numbers, these are lives. These are women who were mothers, daughters, wives, and leaders. Women who did everything they were told to do, went to their appointments, followed the medical advice of their providers, and still were not protected. And here's the part that should shake us all. Most of their deaths were preventable. So why does this continue to happen? Why? Because too often Black women are not heard when they say something is wrong. Our pain is dismissed. Symptoms are minimized. And our concerns are delayed, and often when it's too late. And this is what racial biases looks like in real time. Not always loud or obvious, but deadly in its impact and the change in the family's legacy. We've seen it with high-profile cases like Serena Williams, who had to fight to be taken seriously after giving birth to her daughter. Despite knowing her own medical history. So imagine a woman who has a platform, who has resources, and her visibility being ignored. This is not just a healthcare issue. It is a justice issue. If we are serious about change, then Black maternal health care must become more inclusive and more effective. Inclusive means representation. It means more Black doctors, midwives, and doulas in the room. It means culturally competent care where non-Black providers are trained to recognize and challenge their own racial biases. Inclusive means listening, really listening, truly listening to Black women, respecting our voices as experts of our own bodies. Effective means accountability. Hospitals and healthcare systems must track outcomes, confront disparities, and change practices that are costing Black women their lives. It means investing in community-based care, expanding access before, during, and after pregnancy, not just at the moment of birth. Because the truth is, y'all, the danger doesn't end when the baby is born. Many Black women die in the weeks and months after delivery, when support often disappears or was never even in existence. We cannot continue to accept a system where survival depends on race. We cannot normalize preventable loss, and we definitely cannot look away. Black maternal health is about more than pregnancy. It is about dignity. It is about equity. And it is about whether we truly believe that Black women deserve to live, to thrive, and to be protected at every stage of life. So the question is not whether we know what the problem is, because we do. The question is whether we are willing to act like every life truly does matter. Because until Black women are safe in childbirth, we have so much more work to do. And that work begins with you and myself speaking up and speaking out. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. This is also an issue that's very near and dear to me. I have an org called Black.Births.Matter that really centers on this, on Black maternal mental health and Black maternal health overall. So it's a really big deal for me. And it's Black Maternal Health Week. So make sure that we're really paying homage to the Black women that have died during childbirth. Serena Williams is definitely a person that we talk about. Another person that we talk about is Beyonce and how Beyonce was treated during the birth of her twins. There is a recent doctor that just passed away that tried to advocate for herself, and still she passed away from childbirth. There has also been 2 doulas.
One right here.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
Albert
Yes.
Einstein.
Three
Yep.
maternal deaths at Woodhall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we've had quite a few in the New York City, and then
Yes.
one here in the Bronx, and 3 at Woodhall. One of the other things that I was going to say was we've even had on the news 2 doulas that tried to advocate for themselves while giving birth and was taken to
Yes.
court because of their decisions.
Yeah.
They were taken to court. Yes.
And then we also have the young lady who went in labor in the hospital, and while she was screaming, that was a viral video
Yes, it
where
was.
they sent her home, and within 8 minutes of leaving the hospital, she gave birth to her child. And the nurse literally sat there and turned her back while she was wreathing in pain.
Yeah. What were you gonna say? Wow. Sabrina, right? Sabrina just said that a mom and a newborn passed away in one of the prisons upstate. So apparently the prison was hiring unlicensed medical staff. That's a very interesting thing. That's usually what I say when I ain't got no words. So that is interesting. Yeah, that's really crazy, but it's definitely something that while we're talking about it, we're still not doing too much about it.
They had a doctor that was just talking about it today on Instagram about a woman who was having pain, and she was full term. The patient was full term. They ended up the monitor for whatever reason. You're supposed to continuously monitor in the hospital. The monitor was taken off, never put back on. She's in the hospital. When she went into labor, her doula was not allowed. Her support person was not allowed in the labor room with her. And what else happened to her? They tried forceps, it failed. It did 3 pop-offs, it failed. And then, of course, the baby was born with brachial palsy. But then the thing is that the baby ended up dying.
Wow.
For preventable, they should have just either, this is a case where the baby should have been sectioned,
Yeah.
or whatever. But she wasn't allowed to, and she advocated for herself. She kept speaking and speaking, and everybody kept telling her, these are not the rules. You have to abide by the rules. This is not how we do it here. But to the fact that your support system, this isn't COVID.
Yeah.
Where people weren't allowed in the room at the time. So these things are still happening, but people are bringing their own prejudices and biases, and they're taught. They're taught. Don't worry about that. We got 15 minutes with this patient.
Yeah,
the insurance company says I have to see 200 patients within a certain period of time.
That's what I talk about a lot.
And keep it moving.
Yeah.
So.
I did a study on it, and where this comes from, it comes from Dr. Sims.
Yeah.
So Dr. Sims was an OBGYN doctor, and he believed in doing procedures on women of color without medicine. And he felt that women of color didn't need any type of pain medication during childbirth, during any type of female procedures that needed to be done.
They said we could not feel pain.
Right. They felt that he said that we don't feel pain. So that teaching, like you said, is what was taught in medical schools. So that train of thought still exists today with a lot of doctors. You'll see. No, they took it down. They took it down. They took the statue down. They took the statue down. Because this is where we get the Sims position. The Sims position that we put our patients in for childbirth. That's where that name comes from, Dr. Sims. So he was the forefather of with women of color, not giving them any type of pain medication during childbirth, procedures, and that teachings passed on generation to generation of doctors to doctors, and that's why a lot of doctors ignored women of color during childbirth, and women hemorrhaged out or pain, and they just ignored it, and and that's how that came about. So.
And I think one more thing we just need to do is one more. I think we also have to have more conversations like this because we don't talk about like the generational stuff that we don't talk about,
Right.
Like families and stuff. Because, for example, like if you have like a history of certain things in your family, you should be having those conversations. Because even how you feel about childbirth comes from like your mother and their mother and their mother, and all of that is kind of brought down. So a lot of conversations that I've been having is that we really have to get together as families and have these conversations because things like postpartum depression, anxiety, OCD, all of these things exist in the world, but a lot of people are suffering in silence. So we have to have these conversations in these open forums so that people get educated and they know where to go or who to go to so that they can have these conversations. So at BBM, what we try to do is have those conversations in open forums so that people do not feel in like a silo or isolated. We all have somebody, I hope, that could check on us. So, I just want to make sure that we're also putting that out there, that generational trauma and things like that really do play a part in this also.
Isn't there someone that's very, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Isn't there someone just online that works for Jacoby or
Yeah, Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah, I know Taylor.
So if she
There's two
could,
people.
hi Taylor.
There's two people.
If she could, yeah, if they're talking about how, you know, the hospitals have these awareness programs and these conversations, that why don't they have workshops or part of the maternal package?
Yeah.
Like you used to have birthing classes.
Yeah.
Let's have a forum, you know, with doctors and patients about expectations. You
I
know,
got you.
what's
Let me look.
expected
No, I definitely agree.
and how they feel.
Dr. Banks has her hand up.
Go ahead, Dr. Banks.
Oh, thank you for that. First, I echo everything that everyone said on here, but I want to add something to the conversation. We do have an answer to Black maternal deaths, and the answer is called post. And if you just Google post-birth warnings, I think this educational piece and the Department of Health has created a pamphlet about it. And it's basically, what are the signs and symptoms that lead to Black maternal death? And it's for families, it's for patients, it's for anybody that's come across a woman that's going through one of these symptoms to sound off and make people aware. Now, there was an issue where even if they were sounding off, someone spoke about Serena Williams, how they were sounding off and they wasn't listening, and she had to force them to listen to her. And that's the unfortunate truth. But it does matter, unfortunately, where you go and which hospital you go to. And it's very important that some of our birthing moms look into the facility that they're going to and ask them, there's a high rate of Black maternal death. What is this hospital doing to save my life? And that's what I did when I had my son. I asked the hospital what they did, and they gave me the post-birth warning signs. And not only do they come and check on you to make sure that you don't have any of these warning signs, they make sure that you and your partner know about it. So I think with the educational piece, we should add the solution to it, because that solution is going to make sure that we save more Black women lives.
That's my goal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If I,
Javi,
yeah. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
So I just want to know, is this available at all hospitals, this book?
That's the, see, it determines on where you go, right? So not every hospital is participating in this process. Woodhull is not. That's why they had 3 deaths. St. John's, Riverside, and Yonkers, they are. So that's why it's important for women to go in and say, are you participating in this? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Department of Health and get that link to the post-birth information, and I'm going to post that in the chat, because I think that also needs to be disseminated about, you know, the problem and then the solution, and then get women to be encouraged and confident to talk about their signs and symptoms, what they're going through, and how this can help them. So I'm going to put that in the chat.
Thank you, Doctor.
What she just said was very important. There has to be encouragement, you know, besides, you know, United States is one of the worst places to give a baby at.
I've been saying that.
How we have a high Black maternal, Black and brown maternal rate, but here's the good news. You know, we're not there yet, but we're getting there. So if we put something positive behind it and say, we're going to educate you on how to, even though these women did advocate for themselves, but you know, what are you doing to help prevent it? That's a very good solution. Or that other doctor we had one time in that asked the why. Sometimes you have to ask people why. Why didn't you show up for your appointment?
Dr. Beverly.
Yeah. Why didn't you show up? It's a transportation issue, it's a babysitting issue, it's a whatever. So that was important. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I think this is a really important conversation, and I really echo everything that everyone's saying. I'm starting to think about what we really can do to, as a board, to address this situation that's so pervasive in America, and especially in our communities that are filled with marginalized groups, Black women that have to deal with these issues. And what we're really getting to the heart at is that this is a very multifaceted issue that has to have a multifaceted approach. We're getting a lot into education, which is really important for the patients and the women that are going to give birth, these pregnant women. And it's really important that these hospitals and these healthcare facilities are providing the proper educational resources for their patients. So I think one thing that we can do is, I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard to wrangle up some data on the hospitals in the Bronx, especially in this community board area, and look at the maternal health rates inside of our area, and then talk about, and then invite those people from those hospitals, from their community outreach departments, to come to our board and talk about what they're doing to address this situation and what we can do to help facilitate that. That's the first step. And the second one I want to say, and this also reminds me of our guests that have come here today, and I think this is a great opportunity, is we were talking about doulas. You mentioned that, Dominique, and that's a great evidence-backed thing, that doulas are found to reduce the rate of women giving birth by C-section, reduce issues when giving birth, and lower the risk of mortality during giving birth. So maybe that's something to give out to the group as well, as a doula program for entrepreneurs in our communities, really highlighting Black women, and to join this great career path that can help empower our community and make sure that our community is healthier, and a great way to make income, and just a really good effort all around. So that's another way that we can address this situation. I do want to move forward with trying to invite those people from the hospitals inside Community Board 12. I think that that's a great way that we can start. And then we can talk to, we could definitely invite some people from Montefiore. And then we can also, for sure, I'm sure that we have some connects with small business owners and telling them, hey, if you guys have workshops, hey, how about just considering and having a doula program in it? Because this is an issue that's pervasive in our community.
Medgar Evers is the first school to do the free doula program. So they are one of the first that they do it for free, is Medgar Evers. And they've been doing it on a rotation. So if you can catch the next cycle, they're about to do another one from what I know. So you can become a doula for free through them.
Really?
Yeah, I know about five. I know you in Brooklyn. I know from us it's a little far, but for something free, it's worth it.
Wait a minute, there's a free program to become a doula?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, Sheba, that you can go to Medgar Evers and get it for free. See, I got mine on a scholarship, so I was very lucky, but it can go upwards of like $7,000 to $1,000 to become a doula. So if you can get in through the Medgar Evers program, that would be like perfect. They should be doing another cycle soon, so keep looking for it. Because they just did one in like January or February. No problem. I'm always down to share resources. Oh, Dr. Perk. Oh no, that's us. That's us. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Sheba Amsterdam. I really appreciated that. You're so funny. I know, right? It's funny. Sheba probably doesn't remember me, but I came to one of your classes and did a classroom observation a long time ago when I was working at DOE. It was a random student, and I came and I spoke to you. You were looking real fierce that day too. I ain't gonna lie. And you was getting them kids together, and they was not playing with you, and you was not playing with them. You was like, "Go do your work." I was like, "Okay, I'm about to go do mine too." You know. But I thought you were lovely that day, so let me just say that you were definitely very helpful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I tell people all the time, awards and certificates mean nothing to me. It's always comments like this, and seeing any one of my kids being successful like I did today. I went to it wasn't a random meeting, but I was at a meeting today, and one of my all-time favorite students was like, "Miss Simpson." And he's working in the school, and the kids loved him. So thank you again.
Thanks, anytime. Is that Daniel?
Yes, that's Daniel.
Yes. Hi, Daniel.
I know most of the time we saw him, he was inside.
Yeah.
Now he's outside.
Oh, that muffin. Oh, oh, cutie. Okay. Let me go to Oriza Watanabe. If I said that wrong, I apologize.
She taught me. So.
Hello, good evening. No, you did fine. My name's Oriza Watanabe. Yes. I'm from Jacobi Medical Center. I am one of the social work supervisors. I also function as the child protection coordinator and domestic violence coordinator. So I take on consultation regarding cases related to domestic violence or child abuse. I was privileged to meet Miss Dickerson at the NCNW meeting last week, and she had kindly invited me to this meeting. I'm not able to do a presentation today, but I was hoping that I can come in maybe next month to do a short presentation about what child abuse is, what are the signs, in case there are any suspicion, what can we do? So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Can't wait to talk about it.
Ariza, do you want to share about your event next week, your
Oh,
health fair?
sure. Sure. Thank you so much, Taylor, for reminding me. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month. Next Wednesday on the 22nd from 12 to 3, I am hosting a resource fair. There's going to be about 10 community agencies that are going to come in to do tabling. We're also doing a drum circle session twice during that time. But it's and I also have like an arts and craft table for people to come and just do some fun activities. So if you are interested in, please do come by. It's open to the public. It's open to our staff. It's open to our patients. So please come if you can.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you.
So next I have Ms. Latanya Devon with Bronx Bound Books.
I know you
Hello,
have.
everyone.
I know you have to run, but I just wanted you to say a couple of words before you left.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Bronx Bound Books is a mobile bookstore. I converted a bus into a bookstore that travels around the Bronx, making book ownership accessible and affordable for everyone in our borough. So next, on the 26th, I'm having an event in celebration of Independent Bookstore Day with 4 other bookstores. This initiative is led by the Bronx is Reading, who also hosts the Bronx Book Fair every June in Fordham Road. But this event on April 26th is from 11 to 4 at the Andrew Friedman home down by the Bronx Museum right across the street. It's Nefer Bookstore, Bronx Bound Books, of course, and the Bronx is Reading and Locked Lit will be celebrating, selling books. We have author events as well. One of the things that we do is, Bronx Bound Books and authors to our community, from our community. We bring them to schools and things like that. So if anyone wants to come out, I can send the link in the chat. And I'm also gathering partners to do a back to school event in August. So this event will be a little bit different than just giving out book bags and books and supplies. It'll be a sewing class. Hopefully I can partner with someone about doing a braiding workshop so that the students can know how to do their hair or the parents can learn how to do new styles, and a nutrition to help the kids figure out some healthy snacks after school, before dinner, or healthy breakfasts. So we want to do a workshop and give them a list of healthy options at the bodegas. So we're looking for bodega partners to be able to help us at healthy snacks in their stores. And that is myself as an entrepreneur. I'm also the grant manager for one of the oldest settlement houses in the Bronx, Bronx House on Pelham Parkway. This weekend, we're having a health fair. So if you can come by, it's from 11 to 2. There'll be some snacks, exercises, and you can tour the facility and learn about everything that we have to offer. I'm sorry, I was in a rush.
No, that was perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have a good one. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna drop the links in the chat.
I was just about to ask. You beat me to it. Thank you. Okay. Next, Dr. Nam.
Hey, hey everyone. How's everyone doing today? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Is my camera? Oh, there I am. Good evening. What can I do? Oh my goodness. Am I sharing right now? Can you see it?
Yes.
Wow.
No.
I gotta maximize it? I don't even have notes. I don't even know why it's like this. One second, I'm sorry. One. I just want to share this one. I don't know. Let me maximize this. I don't know what's going on. Let me see. You would think I do this for a living, but I don't.
It's okay. It's just like me in class. When they go, Dr. Finn, you didn't share the screen. I'd be like, my bad.
I don't think it's there. I think that it's having an issue with
I think, yeah, that's what I think it is.
Daryl, maybe you can
see
send
it
the
now?
person. And then we
want to send it?
You want to send it? You want to send it, and then we can share the screen. I think the permissions for the WebEx is just not working tonight.
Oh, so you don't see it right now, even though it tells me it's sharing?
No,
No, we don't see anything.
Oh no.
I can see
Let me
it.
see.
The crazy
You can
part
see
is
it?
I can see it.
Oh,
I guess the
man.
Zoom people can see it.
100,000 people in the U.S. are waiting for a
Oh,
transplant.
you know why? They have to change their view in where you guys are. You have to change your view to see his screen.
Oh, what does it say up there? Does this layout? Maybe there.
Try
Oh,
stack.
I see.
Try stack.
No.
Oh no.
Maybe it's only.
That is weird.
What about high participants without? Nah, that's not.
Well, everybody else sees it. I guess keep going.
I guess you can keep going,
keep
Daryl. We won't see it, but you can.
That's fine. Go ahead.
That's fine.
Just talk. All right. I'll just talk.
Yeah.
So this month is April, the month of April. So it's Donate Life Month, really. So basically, when we're talking about donating life, we're talking about organ donation. So I know some of you may not know, like I'm a solid organ transplant pharmacist, specifically a heart transplant and Montefiore Medical Center. I'm a board certified transplant pharmacist. I'm a fellow now, a new fellow of the International Society for Heart and Lung Transplantation. That's a conference I'm going to next month. So this is something very near and dear to my heart because I always enjoy seeing people get transplanted. I enjoy, they're very sick beforehand, but I just always enjoy the life that they have afterwards and engaging with them, engaging with their families, and just the whole thing about donation. I typically love very much. I guess the first thing that I'll talk about is this is something that's led nationally to increase awareness and education for donation. A lot of the times, many of us are not registered to be organ donors, and I don't know why. So it's kind of like to open discussion about this. So the focus on this month is really about saving lives and enhancing lives through donation, and then bringing the community together, healthcare professionals and leaders. I honestly think this is something that a lot of healthcare systems should be looking into doing in terms of, hey, going into the community, engaging the community to just speak more life into the community regarding organ donation, and then just promoting registration for organ donors. So why this matters? So I have that over 100,000 people in the U.S. are waiting for a transplant. So over 100,000 people are waiting for a transplant. So this could be kidney, liver, intestinal transplant, pancreas transplant, or heart transplant. So one person that actually dies can save 8 lives and improve many more lives, right? So every person has 2 kidneys. One kidney can go to 2 different people. One lung load can go to 2 different people. One liver, one intestine, one pancreas, or one heart. So you can literally save 8 lives after you expire for these organs that you may not be using, right? And then lives can also be improved. So we have burn victims, right, that, could basically benefit from receiving a skin transplant, right, from the donation of skin or bones or tendons. And then we have people that, may be blind that could benefit from a corneal transplant at the time of death of the recipient, if people would basically sign up to be organ donors. So the need for donors continues to exceed the availability. And the reason why I say this is that, at Montefiore Medical Center, we were basically the first center in the world to do a HIV to HIV heart transplant in the whole world, right? So this is how much we're trying to increase the availability of organs. We even do hepatitis C positive organs because we treat the patients right after transplant. Any patient that receives a hepatitis C positive or a nucleic acid testing positive heart, we'll treat them with antivirals. They don't develop the virus after transplant. I developed a protocol where we give a dose of antiviral before the transplant, and we treat for 2 weeks after transplant. Instead of the 8 to 12 weeks that we haven't seen any seroconversion. So that's also to reduce another medication for these patients as well. So I'm going to present that at some point next year. And just to talk about New York and the Bronx impact. So in New York alone, there are 8,000 New Yorkers that are waiting for a transplant. There are hundreds of people that die on the transplant waiting list every year. And in the Bronx, we have one of the lowest donor registration rates. It's around 32%. Queens is 32% as well. Manhattan is 61%, but the state average is 53%. So even in the state, only approximately half of people, the people living in New York State, are signed up to be organ donors. So it's really thinking about how do we increase awareness locally to directly save lives. So as far as health equity, when we think about health equity in this donation, so minority populations represent about 60% of those waiting for organs. So it's a majority of the people that look like us, Black and brown people in the Bronx, that are waiting for organs. And this is because a lot of the times we live in food deserts, right? So there are a lot of chronic conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease are really what increase the needs. So as we know, people with diabetes, hypertension, that's one of the main causes of kidney failure or kidney transplant needs, and heart failure, of course, are the reasons for heart transplant. And as far as communities like the Bronx, we're very disproportionately impacted. Montefiore is the only center in the Bronx that does transplants, but a lot of our patients in the Bronx may go to NYP, Mount Sinai, or NYU as well. So it's really about improving education, right, and trust to close these gaps that we see. So there's a lot of myths, right? People always think, oh my God, if I sign up to be an organ donor, if I'm in the ambulance, they're gonna let me die. I think their last thought is looking at your ID to see if you're an organ donor, right? So I think that's one of the last thoughts of the ambulance or the ambulance, or even at the hospital to see if you're an organ donor at that time period. One, because just to give some background, no one is going to think that, oh my God, if this person in front of me expires right now, my cousin or someone will get a heart, because there are sequences, there's a list. That heart or your heart can go to somebody in Connecticut or Texas or even California nowadays with the technology that we have. So everyone that is at the hospital, their main interest is trying to save you before they're thinking about organ donation. And as far as some people think, I'm too old or unhealthy to donate. So I just mentioned that earlier that, we are utilizing hearts from people that are 60, 65, 70. As long as the coronaries are clean, you could be you could donate. There are hearts that are considered, they say higher risk due to age and comorbidities and things of that nature, but those hearts still go to people to improve lives, right? Because kids are transplanted. I'm also do the peds heart transplant. So we have like a few kids that are listed that are very young that can benefit from heart transplants as well. So anyone can register. Eligibility is always determined at the time of donation, right? So if you feel like you may be unhealthy, I know this is a morbid conversation, but if someone was here and you're about to die, you feel like you may be unhealthy, some of your organs can go to save someone's life. So that's pretty much that from that standpoint. So as far as how to register, so there are a few ways to register. So you can register online through the New York State Donor Life Registry. You can sign up for at the DMV when renewing your license. So, I have my license. So for a while, I'm not gonna lie, I was not an organ donor. And I'm like, I'm going through residency, I'm doing this. How am I not an organ donor? So I signed up like maybe like about 7, 8 years ago after I was done with residency. And then, you get a little heart to indicate that you're an organ donor on your license. And most importantly, you need to share your decision with your family. Because at the time, especially if you have a healthcare proxy or anything of that nature, so they're aware, the team is aware if things were to ever go awry in your life. So as far as Community Board 12, how can we help, right? So a few things we could do is try and promote awareness at local meetings and events. We could try and partner with our local churches or mosque or schools and community organizations as well. We can encourage donor registration in the Bronx through drives and things of that nature. If we were to set that up, looking at next April. And then we can also share accurate information through newsletters and social media regarding organ donation as well. And then also trying to partner with the health systems to see exactly why, because Donate Life as an organization is always willing to go into communities, hospitals, and things of that nature to raise awareness. So it's pretty much a call to action here. So register as an organ donor today if you're online, if it's something that you're thinking about and you feel like this little presentation tugged on your heartstrings. And then also have a conversation with your family, encourage others in your community, and also be a voice for saving the lives in the Bronx, especially how we're disproportionately affected by low donor registration rates, as well as a high number of individuals that are on the waiting list, waiting for a kidney, heart, pancreas, small intestine, etc. So this is the QR code. I was hoping everyone could see it, even the people that were sitting there, that you could see the QR, you could scan and be like, you know what, Daryl, I'm gonna sign up right now. But I guess that's not gonna happen because I don't think you guys can see it. But it's something that we could share. I can put the link in the chat box as well. I just want to thank everyone for your time,
Dr. Nami, if you can put this in a reel for the social media committee, that would be really nice. And send it to us in a video so we can put this. Yeah, I was on there. I had to interview myself. So yeah, if I could do it, you could do it.
All right. Okay. All right.
In under 3 minutes?
Nah, I feel like it was 20 minutes. So I don't think I could do it. No, I'll do it and I'll put it in a reel and maybe we could put the QR code in there, people can screenshot it or put the link in there and see if they can actually sign up.
Okay.
You can refer them to watch the.
And then we could refer them to watch the YouTube. We would
Oh,
still,
look at that. That works.
a reel would be nice though. I'm just saying.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're trying to showcase different things. And me and Alpha cannot be the only two people on our social media page.
You guys look so good on the social media page. I don't want to ruin it. You know what I mean?
You're not going to ruin it. Actually, you're going to make us look even better. So it will be really, I'm telling you, you're going to make us look good. So it would be really nice if you did a reel, because the way how you just put it, me and Alpha can't do that. We don't got that passion that you got. You understand? So I need you to bring that passion in an under 3-minute video, and that would be nice.
We believe in you.
We believe in you, all right?
I got you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna purchase a ring light and everything. I'm gonna make sure it's all good.
All right. I appreciate you so much. Okay. All right. Dr. Price Bates.
Hey, family, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions. First, kudos, Dr. Black Man. I appreciate every time I see a Southern doctor, I'm like, hey, how you doing? But here's my question. First and foremost, I'm intrigued by what you're doing in regards to the donations for the transplants with the positive hepatitis C positive patients. Is that a positive to positive patient? And if it's a positive to negative patient, are you guys in your protocol, did you guys design for the latent period of hepatitis C? So that was my first question. My second question was the comment about the why people donate. I think it's very important that we understand the history, the medical history of Black people in society. And I did a presentation about medical and Miss Dickerson was there, and I talked about the history of medical racism from 1800s all the way to now, even including the maternal birth death rates. And so one of the issues that a lot of Black people have is the mistrust in in doctors, especially when you talk about Tuskegee Airmen and syphilis. So I think in order to overcome some of the challenges, right, there needs to be an honest discussion about um, medical racism and how medical racism has created this feeling of not wanting to go to the doctor or not wanting to participate in organ donations. If we can understand that part, have an open dialogue about that, and then start to change perspectives, I think that will start to increase the number of people that's willing to participate in this process. So I was thinking about maybe somehow talking about that and engaging folks from that perspective to try to increase that. And I think that was the only question and the third question I had, and this is going to come from a lot of people that I spoke to. There is, as a Black body, right? And I'm speaking from a place of, I'm a motorcyclist. And so I'm dealing with a lot of motorcyclists. And motorcyclists, as many of you know, we're organ donors. And they usually rush us to the hospital because they want that organ from that motorcycle rider. And so the arguments in these conversations are, well, how do I know that my body part is going to another person of color and they're not being disparaged from getting that organ? For example, we got the glomerular filtration rate, the estimated glomerular filtration rate that increases the risk number for African Americans, making them wait longer on the wait list for a organ. So what are you guys doing at your facility to make sure that this disparity is not being translated into your facility and people are getting access to these organs fairly?
So okay, I guess question one. So question one was in regards to hepatitis C. So hepatitis C is usually like, a lot of the times you may have someone, not always, but someone that they would classify as high risk behavior that's hepatitis C positive, and they're donating to someone, and it's someone that agrees to accept a HCV or hepatitis C not positive organ. So we don't really have to account for the latency period, because what we're doing is we're giving them a dose of antiviral before their body is even introduced to the virus at all. And then we're continuing treatment. So one of the things that I ended up doing was shortening the treatment duration, because there was a study in New England Journal of Medicine where they did this in heart and lung transplant patients for 4 weeks. And then there was another study where they did this in kidney transplant patients for 7 days. And what I did see in the 7-day mark, so I was trying to find the perfect duration. And what we saw in the patients with the 7-day treatment period post-transplant was a lot of them will become kind of positive again at day 10. But then it would subside. Their immune system would be able to fight it without any further treatment. So I was trying to find that without them being positive again. And that's how we kind of chose the 2 weeks. The third question I'll go to, because it's kind of related to the second question, and that's what I was going to use as an example. So something that I could talk about is that we are fighting for people that are Black and brown when it comes to this. So that GFR location calculation was as a result of someone thinking that because you were African American that you had more muscle mass. So they tried to account for the GFR equation by saying, hey, we're going to have a different equation for African Americans. And that put a lot of us behind the 8 ball, but that's no longer. So what they ended up doing was they used another GFR calculating using something called cystatin C. So cystatin C is 100% filtered. So this is, no matter who you are, we know that when we calculate your GFR using cystatin C, we know this is truly your glomerular filtration rate, regardless of your muscle mass or anything else. So any of those standards, like that used to be in the past, are no longer for kidney transplant. So it's just to show people, hey, we are fighting for you now. That is exactly what we're doing to ensure that if you need an organ, you're going to get an organ. Is there a way to direct your organ to be like, you know what, my heart got to go to somebody Black? There's nothing like that now. You can't do that now. But but because it goes on a list according to critical illness, you know what I mean, and what your status is. Because in heart transplant, there's 6 statuses, right? Status 1 being that you are at the highest risk of death, meaning that you need to get an organ immediately, versus status 6, you might be listed, but you're at home like this, versus status 4, you might have a left ventricular assist device that's pumping, that's acting as the left side of your heart, right? So you're not having those symptoms of heart failure, but you still may need a heart. So those things are things that we can't control. I wish I could be like, you know, they have other different things with like kidney swaps where you're like, you know what, my family, I can't donate to my sister, but my sister can donate to somebody else and their family member can donate to me. Like they have swap programs like that as well. So it's about increasing awareness of all of these things, right? I hope I answered your questions. I think I did. But okay, good. But
Yes,
yeah,
thank
that's what
you.
yeah, I think it's about talking to people and educating them about those things. Like I'm very familiar with how we've been used as guinea pigs for, you know, since the beginning of time, how this is still happening in parts of Africa, etc. How they're still trying to do these things. But I think it's about trying to educate the public as much as possible, especially when we're disproportionately affected, you know, especially when the most of the people on the waiting list are people that look like us too.
So, of course, y'all know I want to thank you so very much. This is Talene Dickerson, and I feel like an 8th grade girl, and everybody's talking about me, and y'all don't think I'm here, but all of you, Diana's laughing. So, back in 2021, I was told, now this might not mean a lot to a lot of people, but I was told that my ejection fraction was 10%. So, yeah, I know your face. I'm looking at both y'all, which meant my doctor called me up. She and I had become like girlfriends. And she said, so basically, it meant that I could have dropped dead at any moment, basically. And she wanted me to come to the hospital, but it was, COVID. And I was like, I don't want to go sit up in no emergency room while y'all try to figure this out. Ultimately, as my shirt says, long story short, God saved my life. Okay, so it was a matter of timing, I'd have to say. I went to the hospital that next morning and I was there, the 2nd of July? Went in for a couple of procedures, not to get too technical, and wound up at about 1:30 in the morning, 4th of July, 2021, getting a phone call, which as you can count, 2 days, I received a heart. Okay, so I keep saying,
Not
God
typical,
decided.
y'all.
No, I know. So my transplant team at New York Presbyterian Hospital called me their poster child. That's because thanks to Diane, Dr. Price Banks, who has taught me every possible thing I need to know. I know every test. I know everything. I mean, when I sit down with some doctors, they go, "Are you in medical school?" And I go, "No." But so it's been quite a journey. And one thing I know for sure, you have to be obedient. That's my whole thing. I said, if God decided to keep me here a little longer, then I was going to be obedient to it. So like you said, the medications, I was taking 26 pills twice a day. And I am now down to 8 pills twice a day. I told everybody, I said, before I had the transplant, my life, I was a flight attendant, I was a teacher. Yeah. So I lived my life. I hung out, I partied, I traveled all over the world. So I am quite comfortable with being 6 feet apart from from anybody and not going out doing what I'm supposed to do. You are immunosuppressed when you receive an organ because, as you know, your immune system would fight a foreign body. Is that the best way to put it, Dr. Nani? Would fight a body, right? Would fight. So I'm immunosuppressed, which means I can catch anything, which means I have caught. I mean, when I got thrush, that was more than enough for me because I was like, don't babies get thrush? But yeah, so it's been quite a path. And I am now at the point, well, the first 3-4 years, I wasn't here. I was virtual. And I'm here now because I'm feeling comfortable and everybody is very respectful of my situation. But to get into another part of it that was interesting for me, my son, I lost my son.
You got this. Yeah, you got this.
Take your time. Take your time.
April 25th last year. And I just recently received a letter from Live On New York because my son was a donor. And it was so funny when Live On New York called me, the gentleman, when he was trying to explain and give me the spiel about donating, I told him, I said, I don't think you know who you're talking to. And I think he took it the wrong way at first, but I said, I am a recipient. I said, you don't have to tell me, you don't have to go through everything, you don't have to do, just send me the papers, whatever I got to do. So anyway, long story short, about a month ago, I received a letter from Live On New York, which said that my son was able to give 2 people the gift of sight, 2 children, they needed, I guess, heart, whatever. Long story. And 20 other people, tissue and bone. So I have not had the privilege of meeting my donor family. We're only allowed to write a letter. And I was laughing because when you write the letter, you can't put any personal information in it. And I told him, I said, there's only 2 Talleens in the entire world. In the entire world. I said, so, that's not going to work for me. But I have not received any word back. They said sometimes the family does not respond, or sometimes it's a different kind of situation. But I always wanted to meet, the family and have an opportunity to thank them. I don't know. I guess that's about it in terms of if anybody has any questions. No, everybody's looking. I know. It's quite a story. It's quite a story.
Thanks, Tolene.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We're lucky to have you.
Thank you.
But Daryl, unfortunately, you still have a whole generation of people that believe that if they donate, you're not gonna save them.
And that's why you gotta make that 3-minute reel.
I have a stepson who was a heart transplant patient. My husband donated when his middle child passed. He was a donor, so he was able to donate 7 different parts of his body. But my husband refuses. He's 80 something. He refuses to be a donor because he's like, I want to make sure they do everything for me before they take. So you still have a whole generation of people that mistrust is real.
Yeah, I have.
So we have to really change that, or keep having these type of conversations.
And I just want to point out to the speaker that was just speaking, your husband was around during the Tuskegee Airmen situation. So he has personal, understanding of what happened. So this stuff now has to be like undone somehow. And it's going to take a lot of work because these people experience a lot of that reasons to mistrust the doctors. So there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. I thank y'all so much.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, today has been a very good conversational day. So Dr. Nami said he's going to do his 3-minute reel. Thanks. We really appreciate you. I don't know why you ducking because I can see you, but okay. Okay, so Joan, did you have a presentation for the awareness? Was it only autism? Okay, we spoke about autism, so we're gonna let you off the hook today, okay? All right, anybody else Madam President Dawson, do you have any words for us today?
Lisa?
I don't think she might be there.
She might be able to.
Yeah,
Well, there's a combination as also.
No, good evening, everyone. I'm driving. I was just going around a little curve, so.
Okay, be careful, okay? Please be careful.
Yeah, so hope everyone is well and fine. Greetings from the National Council of Negro Women North Bronx section. Excellent meeting. I would like to present, but I'm not going to do that tonight. I will do it. I prefer to do it in person, where it could be a little more intimate. But most of the speakers I do know. Hello to each and every one of you. Hi, Taylor from NCB. Hi, Dr. Price, and to each rest of you as well. Good meeting. Everybody get home safe. I will be back to present. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President Dawson.
Elise, would you like to have a few words with us? Ms. Murray?
Just to inform everyone that May is Lupus Awareness Month. And you can go to the lupus.org or the Lupus Foundation of America to learn more information. There will be a walk. It's lupus awareness. It's learn to get in the loop. There's several different seminars and health programs that's going to be happening the month of May 2nd. Lupus and You will be having information for people to understand more about testing and vaccinations. There's another health seminar on May the 8th at the hospital special surgery, where they're going to be doing a pamper day for all lupies, all folks that are impacted by lupus erythematosus, systemic lupus, lupus nephritis, and discoid lupus. So we're going to be asking people to put on purple on May 8th. May 8th is World Lupus Day. So the month of May, we're focusing on lupus awareness. And lupus doesn't discriminate. It looks like you and I. And oftentimes it takes people several years to be diagnosed. It took me over 5-6 years to be diagnosed. I've been impacted for 20 years. So it's something very dear and near to me. I lost my brother in 2018 to lupus nephritis and diabetes. And everyone should get screening and get tested and be more aware. There's also a lupus luminary seminar and action where people are going to be advocating and going to the Hill. The Hill means going to Washington, D.C., and advocating to our legislators to help pass several bills. I will definitely send you guys in a reel that actually is being put together by the Lupus Organization in the Northeast that I am associated with. And maybe we could share that for the month of May.
Thank you so much, Elise. I was just about to ask you, can you put that in a reel for me?
Wait, no, remember I did record something the last time you spoke about lupus. So I think I'm gonna use that same video. I already have it edited. So yes, I think I'm gonna probably put it on the 8th. I'll produce that video.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You can give me the writing if you want, like more information, so I can also add that to on the
No
bottom.
problem. And I'll also give you the links to the lupus.org and Lupus Foundation of America, Lupus Northeast. Yeah.
So I'll send you the video so you can look at it too, and we can go from there.
Okay. Thank you.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you too. Thank you. You're welcome.
Anytime. All right. John Isaac, do you have anything you want to say? Not Officer Merry
Second
Christmas.
Vice Chair.
Okay.
I'm here. I'm just trying to figure out the unmute thing. But I'm on. Actually, this was like really touching, because I have multiple myeloma, and Paulina and I, we really communicate a lot. And I'm actually going through a clinical trial right now, and my white blood cells have been like just every time they try to, my white blood cells have been going up. The clinical trial just like pull it back down, and I've been like catching every virus in the world. Right now, I got the rhinovirus. So you know, it's been an up and down thing, you know. But
Got you.
I'm hanging in.
Prayers.
We're praying for you.
Prayers.
We're keeping you in our prayers, John Isaac.
Thanks.
Keep going, John. Keep going.
Writers don't stop.
Okay.
Thanks for your
Yvette, go ahead, John. Sorry.
I just say thanks for your prayers. You know, it helps. I mean,
Yes, of course.
what they're telling me right now is that they don't see any of the protein that they've been tracking. It's not there anymore. But you know, so which is a good thing. So I'm like in total remission right now. So we'll see what's going on. The only thing I just gotta get my white blood cells under control because that's like, you know, everything.
Yeah.
Can I just jump in and say something about that?
Of course.
Sean, I want you to talk to your dietitian if you have one, because a lot has to do with diet and removing certain foods that attack the white blood cells. And I'm speaking for someone who has systemic lupus erythematosus and Sjogren's. And I was having an issue with my white blood cells attacking itself and not producing like it should. And one of the things I found out has a lot to do with diet and knowing what you are allergic to, knowing what type of blood type are you, eating right for your blood type, and knowing the disease and the foods that you should remove from that situation. I'm not a doctor. I'm not advocating. I'm just sharing. Okay?
Thanks.
We appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
See, look at that.
Hey, Elise.
Karen said,
Hey.
hey.
How are you?
Last but not, who's Yvette's note taker?
Yvette's note taker.
Are you here?
It says Yvette's note taker.
I get somebody's note taker from. Say that again.
Hello?
It's okay, they are no taker.
Okay.
That you guys know that's an AI, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Cause like I have my note taker sometime in my meetings, and sometimes it'll come even though I didn't personally go to the meeting, if that makes sense. So whoever if that is, she didn't come to the meeting, but their AI note taker came to the meeting to take the notes for her, basically. Yeah, some real futuristic stuff. Got me? All right. So is there anybody else that wants to speak before I close this meeting?
I have a question.
Sure, Jack.
Really quickly, I want to talk about the community health resource fair. Do we have a date on that?
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's talk. What's the date?
So the date is June 27th. We had to switch dates because on the 13th there's something happening here, but it is definitely on the books. June 27th is definitely the date for the community resource fair.
At what time?
We're doing 12 to 4 p.m.
Why you so
I will have a flyer for full board meeting.
Oh, perfect. Because that way we can share it with
Yes.
Jason Fox and the Office of Disability and
I
Deafness.
got you. John, say that again. John, say that again. Okay. So June 27th, once again, from 12 to 4. Okay. I just asked here at the community board 12. I just asked Good News and Becoming the CEO to be two people to showcase their businesses. So now we just need to get more businesses involved. I would love for us to have a lot of local businesses because that is the point of this, so that we can showcase people here in District 12. So we would really like that. Sounds good? So tell some people that will tell those people that will tell even more people so that we can get people to come. Okay?
Okay.
I will have a flyer once again by full board, and I'll make a Google Doc so that people can kind of sign up to a table. I don't think we're gonna do more than 20 because I feel like that's how many could fit in here. So to be continued. I think that we could do it if we slant. It can happen.
So we've had, when we used to have the health fair here, we had multiple tables, because we had,
Yeah.
you don't have to just have them around.
Right. No, you can have them scattered,
We
yeah.
have them scattered up there, but we also, if available and the weather is good, we also put them outside.
Yeah, so I feel like we could make it work. We gonna make it work. We gonna build community. Sounds good? And at least if you wanna have the Lupus Foundation come, just let me know because I already put it on the list, okay?
I was going to let you know that. I was definitely going to do that. As an ambassador, I was definitely going to ask you that. So
Okay, no
perfect.
problem. I put you on my list already, okay? All right, awesome. So anybody else wanna talk? All right. It is 9:13. Can I get a motion to end this meeting?
Motion that, I move that we, end this meeting.
Okay, there we go. Meeting is adjourned. Everybody have a good night.
Good meeting, guys.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
It is 9:13. I said 9:13.
Good night.
Good morning.
Good night.
I mean, good night.
Not good morning.
We gotta get them ready for tomorrow.
I'll click X and see what happens. No,
If you
I'm
put
talking
stop
about the X.
meeting, what happens?
It won't even let him end the meeting.
It won't?
It won't end meeting for all at this point. It won't let him stop the recording.
Maybe when you end the.
I guess end the meeting for all.